Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains. There's only one requirement to hang out on the edge, is that you open your big brain and close your small mind. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now. What is opportune for you?
Opportune. Go ahead.
No, I said you talk millionaire money mindset. I want to know what the opportunity is so I can look for it.
Well, come join my course. The opportune in that everything is stacking up perfectly. Everything in terms of timing, everything is stacking up at the right time, at the right things at the right time with the right person and the right mind. I mean, the right mindset. I always had the right mindset. I shouldn't say always, but.
Right, because I'm saying, that's kind of overthinking it. It takes work to set the mind. And that's what we're going to do here on the edge today, Brains. You see that? Where you at? You at home? Okay, you are.
Where's my card?
You are here at home in there. Look at that. That's our guest today, Brains. Jennifer Lowe. From the penthouse suite somewhere in Canada. Let me tell you, she showed me that view. My mouth started to drool. And she's going to tell us how we can get there, because she is a money mindset coach. And she's a woman that has had to reinvent herself, literally. She had a very challenging, consciously uncoupling. And she had to start all over again with kids and dogs. Okay, but look at her now. She is in the penthouse. So let's welcome her to the edge. Hello, Jennifer Lowe. How are you, baby?
Hi, April. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you, because I want to talk to you about some stuff. And we're going to get down and dirty, because we may not agree on everything, but that's what makes us think, and that's what challenges us. We want to talk about first your humble beginnings and how you reinvented yourself. And then we're going to go into this money stuff.
So my humble beginnings, I've been lucky enough to have been cared for kindly all my life. It's great, but it's come with some pieces of disadvantage. And that one really struck me when I first, when my, like you said, the couple disintegrated. After almost 20 years, my ex-husband and I parted. And I realized it was one of those brutal realities of, what do I do next? How do I put myself back together? Not only mentally, but more so financially, because it, like you mentioned, I wasn't exclusively on my own. I had, quote unquote, real life baggage, as in I had kids, I had pets, and I had nothing. I had no career, no income. I had been a stay-at-home mom for years, for at least 15. And it was a choice. It was a choice that I had taken. It was a choice that was somewhat necessary as well to be the glue, as the wife, to be the glue for the family, because he was busy setting up his business and working his business. And I basically,
that happens a lot of times. Okay. And so, but I want to say something to you, my female brains that are homemakers. Do not leave yourself in the apron. Okay. You have skills, you have talents. You are the financier, you are the budgeter, you are the cook, you sometimes are the doctor, now you are the teacher. You have a lot of skills. So don't devalue yourself. I am the housewife. Girl, the housewife is the business, okay? And you have a lot of responsibility. But generate your own income, something. If you get a monthly allowance, I got family members that are kept women. And, it is a disadvantage to them. Go to school, write a book, do something that has your name stamped on it and imprinted. So now when you came out of the situation and you decided that you had to reinvent yourself, where did you start to look? So you went through all of this. And women, I say to you, God bless the child that's got his own. You are a cook, you are a housekeeper, you are a budgeter, you are a financier, you are a chauffeur. There's a lot of talents that you have. So don't just submerge yourself in that. Still find yourself. There's still a lot of you. Write a book, create a cookbook, start a women's group, do some philanthropic work, but also have a voice for yourself. So when you started to look and find yourself after all of this, Jennifer, where did you look?
Well, the one thing I needed, what I realized with the situation I was in, and I completely agree with you, the stay-at-home mom has tons of skills that she may often dismiss, as you mentioned, because you are the glue that holds the whole family together. And I looked at my situation. I definitely saw the skills, but I was lacking the cash. And because I was a financial dependent, that's exactly where I needed to put all of my focus in. I needed to fill that pot. Now, for months and months and months, I was going through ideas of how to reconstruct, where can I start? And I basically looked at, where am I now? What, like you said, what skills do I have? What do I love to do? And what was important to me more than anything else was to remain flexible in my time with my children, because they were both at school. Now they're 9.5 years apart, so it's not like they could really very much care for one another. I mean, at some point they did, but it was, I had a teen and I had a little one. So I had to be there for each of them in a different way. And then to pile on top of finding a solution for providing for them was definitely a challenge. So I went through, it was a process that took years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I get it. And so when you arrived and you got that spark and you got that aha moment and you go, by golly, this is it. What happened?
I don't know, April, if there was one moment of that finish line crossing. I think it's a more of a, like, okay, a marathon where you stay on pace. If you stay on pace and you keep moving your feet, you progress.
Right. It's a gradual progression.
It's a gradual progression. It's taken years. Like when I look back, it started about 12, 13 years ago, but they were necessary years. And really 10 years in the span of a lifetime is actually really tight. So it's really a matter of perspective of how you look at it. Now, I am still in growth. I will always be in growth. I love it. I am excited for more. And once you get to your goals, like you hit your targets, you don't want to stop, because it's an attitude at that point of wanting to do more and accomplish more. And it's not for anybody else outside of you. It really comes back to personal satisfaction. Oh, yay, I did this. So if I can do this, I can do the next step. Right. And keep growing from there.
And so now you have developed a coaching process and program around money mindset. So I want you to define for me the term money mindset, and then I'll give you my definition.
Okay, cool. Money mindset. Robert Kiyosaki says that there are three things that differ people in certain group categories. And one of them is how much money they make. where they get their income from, how much tax they pay, and the third one is the mindset. And this is the most important one because the mindset is what distinguishes where people are in their life. It's, if you look at mindset from for example, in my situation where something kind of explodes in your face, i.e. a divorce, you have a choice. You can either cave to it because it's a very emotional moment. You can either get swept away by your emotions, or you could say, what can I learn from this? What have I learned from this? And where do I need to go? And use it as your fuel to drive. So it's, and the difference between which path you take will come from up here, will come from the mindset. What kind of mindset do you have?
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I can agree with you on a lot of that. But you mentioned three things. You said where do you get your money from? Brains, if you're going to be successful, and I toot my own horn, okay, you have to have multiple revenue streams.
Absolutely.
I have my business, I have my podcast, I'm a brand ambassador, I have a merchandise line, I'm a consultant, I'm a coach, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You've got multiple streams of revenue. If one stops, and sometimes I work a little part-time job because, again, there's nothing wrong with being a W-2 employee. We talk about taxes. Nobody likes to pay taxes, okay? And you got to pay your fair share. And if you're a millionaire, your share is a little bit more. But you should be grateful that you live in a country, that you have the privileges, that you can complain about taxes. Some people can't even get anything to eat. So pay your fair share. It's reciprocal. It will come back to you. And if you don't pay it, everything will be taken away from you. We talk about money mindset. I don't really set my mind on, I can't get it right. I don't really set my mind on my money, only because it's a different relationship that I have. I don't want to invest a lot of time in that because it is an inanimate object. What I like to set my mind on is prosperity. May that be with my health. May that be with my heart, with my philanthropic areas, or my mindset, as well as being an influencer, to be an impactor, to deliver messages. And when I think about that and I strategic plan, the money just happens to fall in line because it goes into those different pockets, into those different revenue streams that I listed before. So I totally understand what you mean. You do have to have your mindset. You do have to have principles. You do have to have balance. You do have to have discipline. There's a lot of people, okay, that are millionaires because they won the lottery. Girl, and then 3 years from now, they're in bankruptcy court.
I think it's 18 months.
Yeah, and it's because they don't know how to manage it. So it's not just making the money, it's managing the money and teaching the money to work for you instead of you working for it. Am I right?
You are right on. And I want to second everything you've just said.
Thank you.
High
five through the screen, sister.
Multiple streams of income is absolutely necessary. The average, I read somewhere that the average American millionaire has 7 streams of income. And so it's a reality. We definitely want more than one because, as you said, if one of them dries out or one of them, something happens to one of them, your lifestyle is never compromised, for one. Then you talked about the taxes. I live in Canada. We definitely have high taxes.
I know. You work well. You guys are a little bit worse than us, but then you're medical.
I was just going to say
that socialized medicine.
We have exactly. A lot of people complain. A lot of Canadian complain of high taxes. Definitely, it's sometimes it's painful, but at the same time, we have the luxury, absolutely, that if we're sick, when we're sick, we don't have to compromise not going for medical help because of the financial issues. And also our roads. Okay, this is going to sound crazy, but our roads are always really well taken care of.
But I'm telling you, your sales tax, where was I at? I was in the Lush store. Shout out to Lush. And the taxes, there was 3 different taxes that I paid. You know, so your Commonwealth taxes and sales tax are expensive too. But maybe that's going towards those nice roads, right?
It's going towards the community stuff, the anything that impacts communities, the public schools, of course, the roads, and definitely heavily the medical system that we are all extremely grateful for. So, right. And then you said about the
right, about the mindset of the emotional attachment to money.
Okay, so you said that you don't put your mind on your money because it's an inanimate object, and you are dead right on that. You are bang on. Money is energy, so it's not something that we can tangibly, we have a tangible way of seeing it and of handling it, right, with the paper money and the coins. But as you said, you're right on with that as well. It is an inanimate object and it's all about energy. So as soon as you shift your focus to your purpose and what you want to do, how you have to accomplish your service to others, your contribution, the money shows up.
It does.
Because the money is a result. It's not, and that absolutely has to do with your mindset. So we are talking the same language here, April.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. I'm really glad. But also, we didn't talk about the 4th thing: making money work for you. Ladies, I don't know why it is so difficult for you to make a decision. You make a decision about what we're going to have for dinner. You make a decision on where the family is going to go on vacation. You make a decision on what shoes you're going to buy, but you can't make a decision about some money. It's always hemming and hawing. Oh, well, if I coulda, shoulda, woulda, maybe, let me get it co-signed. Be bold. Stand in your convictions. Learn how to invest money. You can do it with penny stocks, and it's fun. When you see that little $100 investment turn into $250, that $250 turn into $5, that $5 into $1,000, you are just going to go through the roof. Because again, money is energy and you have to keep it flowing. Invest in something. I tell this story all the time about a missed opportunity that my mother had because she didn't invest with See's Candy. I didn't make that mistake. I made friends with Mrs. Fields, and today I am getting residual checks from Mrs. Fields cookies. So invest a little bit, but teach it how to work for you. Would you agree, Jennifer?
You are right on again with that. And I believe that and you hit it right on you hit the nail on the head again. A lot of people are afraid to invest. We make decisions about a whole bunch of other stuff, but we are afraid to invest because of the lack of education.
That's right.
That's where it starts. And this is why the very first rule of investing is to invest in yourself, to get the education to not be afraid. Because when it's just a matter of moving the pieces on the game board so that you can strategically plan how to set yourself up for success and how to win.
And, looking for those opportunities and acting upon them like you're doing. In the green room, we were talking about that. You are in your element right now, Queen. You are meeting the right people. The energy is in the right place. Your plans are coming to fruition. Everything is there. But also know, brains, that there's going to be times that Jennifer and April are going to hit a wall, like that wall behind her, And when you hit that wall, don't go splattering down. Take it, take the punch. because the things that hurt you the most are truly your best teachers. Wouldn't you agree, Jennifer?
There's that. And also take the lessons. And when you hit that wall, don't try to do it on your own. Go seek people who can help you. Go seek mentorship, go seek coaches, go seek people who have done what you where you want to who have done what you want to do, who can help you get back up. There's that person, that mentor that can give you a hand and say, can I help you back up?
Right, right. And there is mentors and there are coaches. And you know, there's a lot of good friends. When you were going through all of your trials and tribulations, did you have good girlfriends or did people just kind of fall off?
Most people did not know what was happening. So, and I pridefully, like I'm not the type of person that likes to spill my negative guts around. If anything, when something really bad is happening, I have a few key people that I really know that I can open up, not to whine, but I can open up to say, this is where I'm at, help me find a solution. But I also go in on myself. I don't spew out. I go in for answers. I go looking at what's happening inside. I sort. And then, there's a lot of people that did not know what was going on. And
okay, when you're in that place,
yeah,
do you find that's probably your comfort zone, don't get me wrong, everybody's a little bit different.
yes.
But when you decided that, you know what, there's no shame associated with this, I've done the work, I'm going to go outside of myself, how were people's reception? Were they shocked that all this was going on and you had kept this to yourself?
No, I still don't think that most people, it's interesting. You said, did people fall away? I think people did fall away because my life took, again, energy. My life took a different, that my train jumped the tracks on a different path. So even though I recognize some people from that time in my life and I will say hi to them when I bump into them, I don't associate with them anymore. Not because of anything else other than, again, the mindset.
Right.
It's just you kind of energetically, the universe just pulls you away and moves you to a track where you're going to go in the direction and pick up new people along the way at different stations.
Because you know that outside noise, oh Jennifer, I'm so sorry to hear about XYZ and you're not able to do this, and oh, you're not going to be at the social club, and what about the kids, and what about him, and blah 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 blah. All of that is noise, brains, and you need to turn down the volume on that.
It's funny you should say that. It's funny you should say that, because when the split first happened, a lot of people were saying, oh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
And I was wondering, why are they sorry? This has been like my opportunity to take a hold of my life and lead it the way I wanted to. And everything, there's such freedom in knowing I can manage my own money and I can make my own decision, and I don't have to be dependent on someone else's opinion because we're in a couple. And now, of course, having lived that, I am in a couple again, but it's the rules are different. The rules of the game are different because now we are two separate people that are coming together. And
exactly. And now that's what we call being evenly yoked.
Yes.
You bring something to the table. You know,
yes.
You really bring something to the table. Okay, so let me ask you a funny question. You got all this money and you got a little honey thing. What do you think about people that get prenuptial agreements? Do you think that that's a necessary agreement that they should have when they have a lot of money and they come into it? Or do you think that love should conquer all?
Oh, you're okay. Good question. Definitely. I see, having gone through what I have gone through, number one, money is definitely something that should be handled with logic, not emotions, ever. Number two, I am definitely pro prenup. We never had one. We were very young, but I from where I stand, I would definitely do prenup. There is always some fudging space around it. The courts sometimes not completely dismiss it, but like to see as part of the record of what was happening in the history. And a marriage is, we think, okay, again, from where I'm coming from, like having been on the other side, we think that, well, I'm going to speak for myself. My young self thought a marriage was really about love. A marriage is a contract. A marriage is a piece of paper that illustrates that two people have taken a vow to create a contract to be a team for how many amounts of years according to that contract till death do us apart. But that's pretty much what it is. So if you see a marriage as a contract between two people, a prenup is just part of that contract.
Okay.
It's just a segment of.
Okay. So I'm going to chime on that, and then I'm going to ask you another question. I don't agree. I don't agree. Okay. Marriage is a contract, but it is a contract of the heart and the soul. It is your passion. It is a commitment. It's solidarity. I take my vows. I've been married to Mr. Magnificent for going to be 37 years. I adore that brother. You know, I really, really do. But everyone is not going to go through that. But if you come to me and you say that you want to share your life with me through sickness and in health and, you know, till death do us part, and then you come with, oh, okay, but you need to sign this on the dotted line because, you know, half of my millions. No, because again, when you want to honor me, you come 110%. You come all the way. And that includes the money, because the money is going to be built even stronger. The energy is going to be even stronger, the investment as we grow in time. So I don't want a prenup. I want 50-50. If there's two chairs, I want you to have one, me to have one. But see, I'm a different kind of woman. I'm the one that I'm going to love you enough to set you free, because what I want is not just things. I want you to want me.
Yeah.
And if you don't want and honor me, then all this other stuff is irrelevant, because I'll find me another sugar daddy to fill in that money thing.
Listen, I agree with you. I agree with you completely, April. And the thing is, depending, like what you described is what my ex-husband and I, how we started off and how we built it. Now at almost 50, right. I may have, like, because of what I went through,
exactly.
I may want going through a new union. I don't know if there's a marriage in the future, but going through a new union and coming in with that extra level of experience from both the hurt and the money side and every other experience that happened in the last 25 years, then it might, like a new relationship. Of course,
you have an opportunity to tweak it, because now there's more at risk. I mean, there's stepchildren.
Yeah.
There's, you know, there's health issues. There's liabilities. Yep. There's maybe the ex-wife or ex-wives or ex-husbands. You know, there's a lot of liability. So again, this situation will change.
Yes.
So you have to have flexibility in your life.
Yes.
It's not cookie cutter, but you need to look at that. All right. So now, what do you think about people that are cohabitating? And, you know, they've been cohabitating for 10 or 15 years, and then they break up. Do you think that they are entitled to a portion of what the other person has, if they have means, so that they are able to maintain that standard of living and they're not married? What do you feel about that?
That depends. I know of both cases. I know of a friend of mine who was in that situation, and she was in it for the long term, regardless of that marriage contract or not. And she had kids, and she had given up her career to stay home. definitely at that point, yeah, you need that compensation. She went through something similar with that I went through. Her kids were still younger, so she had to be there, and her kids reacted quite differently. I mean, I had two kids that were 9.5 years apart, and both of them reacted very differently to the breakup. Um, so I think it's a case by case scenario as well. But it's
some things to think about.
yeah,
I've got some really forward thinking friends. One of them, her and the husband divorced, but she has the upstairs of the house. He has the downstairs. They had a beautiful prime piece of property that they did not want to split, and things work out well. I've got other friends that the husband moved right down the street. So now that the kids are able to walk between the two parents' home and live a blended lifestyle. But again, that all goes back to mindset.
yep,
If you're willing to put on your big girl panties,
absolutely.
it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. Okay, so now to get our head around this and to thrive and to succeed, tell us a little bit about what you're offering as a coach, where you're going. You're writing in a book, aren't you? Writing a book?
I am always writing a book.
Wonderful, bravo.
I'm always writing a book. They come too fast. The ideas come too fast, but I do, I do put together the structure, and then I move it to the side and I go, okay, I don't have time for this right now. I move on to something else. So, and then there's another book idea that comes. What I'm doing right now, actually, I've got a 5-day free event coming up on March 18th to the 22nd. And it's a 5-day squish of called Money, Me, and Millions Boot Camp. And what that is a condensation, a condensing of my bigger course, which is the master class. And in the master class, it's a 12-week course plus bonuses plus follow through for an entire 9 months after that. So basically you get to work with me for 12 months, an entire year, and we go in depth. I go through that education of the money, the me, and the millions, so that you can put all of it together and build your money empire, build your lifestyle the way you want to. So it's all about.
That is huge, and it's so exciting. Tell my brains how to get in contact with you, because I want them to take advantage of this. Again, she's giving you a consultation for free. You didn't pay to get up in here. Least you could do is pay attention, right?
Thank you. My website is www createyourmoneymind.com, createyourmoneymind.com. And you can also find me on Facebook at Jennifer G. Lowe. And then from there, you can up step to my Facebook group, which is Create Your Money Mind.
Okay, brains, all this information is going to be at the end of the video. Absolutely. And it's going to be tagged all over the planet, because Jennifer is the business. She's been there, she's done that, and she's here with a testimony. And everybody's situation is not cookie cutter. That's why we give you options, we give you choices. But I'm sure that we spoke to a lot of you. I want to ask one other question before we conclude.
Sure.
People are, not maybe able to get to that $1 million mark. What would you say to the woman right now that is just, in a quandary, just doesn't know her ass from a hole in the ground? She's scared. She's got the kids. He's threatened her with a divorce, and he's got money. What would you say to that woman right now to encourage her?
You can get out of this. This is part of the learning process. This is part of your learning process. Take the lessons and run with them. And I would also say, come to my 5-day event, because at least you can start from somewhere, and to get some clarity, some structure in your head as to how you can proceed forward in a systematic matter to get you and your kids, usually there's kids in the mix, but even if you don't, like you said, nothing is cookie cutter. You're going to get what you need to get.
See, and you need to get it, Brains, because I'm gonna give it to you right here on the edge, the place where the conversation is pointed and the guests are sharp and the responses, what, are never dull. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Brains, I need you to go in and subscribe. Okay, I know you guys are watching. I look at the numbers every day, but I need some subscriptions. Okay, I need some sharing, I need some liking, I need some comments, because again, Jennifer and I are delivering what we think you need. But if there's something more in depth that you need, we're going to do the research. We're going to dig deep to give it to you. We want you to succeed. We want you to thrive. We want you to be a millionaire. We want you to be happy. That's it, with or without a spouse. But also, we want you to be whole here on the edge. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I adore you.
Thank you, April. This was great.
Bye, Brains.